Hello everyone, and welcome to the Yerevan Family Studio at CivilNet. We're thrilled today to be joined by Mary Badalyan, co-founder and executive director of Yerevan Wine Days. Mary, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. So for those who don't know, Wine Days is one of Yerevan's biggest and most anticipated annual events. This year, Wine Days is coming up in just a few days. It's set to begin this weekend. So what can visitors expect this year? What's new this year?
The whole program changed. For instance, this whole week, we named it Yerevan Wine Days campaign. The main goal of this campaign is to promote Armenian wine in different ways. For instance, one of the campaign's part is Restaurant Week. The other part is wine and gastro show stage. The other part is master classes with the focus groups, with the sommeliers and or international chefs and so on. The program is really fulfilled with the interesting educational, entertainment parts.
And there will also be, of course, the street festival that we've all come to know and love.
Yes, of course, that will be. Our main goal is just to be this Yerevan Wine Days campaign makes so huge and large that even the festival, the street festival itself, will be just one small part of it. But yes, yet it is the biggest part, largest part of the whole campaign.
That's great. And I wanted to ask you about tourism kind of more generally. So Armenia is now for the first time exceeding pre-COVID and pre-war visitor numbers. Armenia has welcomed about 630,000 visitors since the beginning of the year. And the big summer tourism rush is really just starting. So in your view, what is the role of festivals and events like this in promoting Armenia as a tourism destination? Why is this important?
Is important, first of all, I can state that surely, because it is already last 10 years, I can say. Last 10 years, the tourism changing itself a little bit from classical tourism, it's becoming more mixed, combined, or event tourism. People love to come to country to see mountains or maybe some churches, other monuments, art. But also they wanted to include in their tour packages, also some events. It can be festivals or maybe some concerts and so on. But festivals mostly have more role in that event tourism development, because festivals can show the regional interesting traditions, or through the festival the tourists can see which is important for that particular country to show off, if I can say. That's why the role of the festivals are very big in the development of Armenian tourism, especially of event tourism.
Absolutely. And to follow up on that, I also wanted to talk about the influx of Russians that we have seen in Armenia. According to Tourism Committee data, most of the growth in the tourism numbers is due to increased Russian arrivals. And so I'm wondering, is that changing the way that you are approaching doing the festival? Is there any specific thing that you are changing or trying to add, or has that impacted your way of thinking in any way?
It is 7 years old already we are doing festival. Last 6 times we always use trilingual printing materials or any kind of postings in social media. Always it's have been a three language communication. Nothing especially with this communication changed. I can even state opposite. We changed our direction of PR of our event. We are not spending much money, if I can say, not even we are not spending this year any money to the Russian market, because they are in any way here and they know that festival. Our main budget for the PR of the festival we spent on the European, on the American market.
That's great, and actually I wanted to talk about that as well in terms of the wine industry. And so last year, Armenia's wine exports soared to more than $36 million, and that's a year-on-year growth of more than 50%. However, the vast majority of Armenia's wine is still being exported to Russia. And that, of course, raises concerns about low levels of export diversification, over-reliance on one market. So I'm wondering kind of how that maybe is playing into the calculus here. You're talking about promoting the wine festival in the European and American market. How about promoting Armenian wine itself in those markets?
You are right. It's all about the diversification. And it is not always about the tourists. It's all about the visitors. A majority of them are business visitors. So business visitor is the kind of visitor who is important, is even more important for us, because this is not only the touristic product. Starting from the 2019, we through our surveys, which are we implementing during the festivals, we found out that the majority of the visitors are, important part of the visitors are business visitors, and they are coming through all over the world, and they are making offers to our wineries. So it's because of this, we even make a little bit change in our festival and calculations and the project itself. For instance, next year, we will have a special expo area in which the visitors business, and we are going to invite not only just whoever will come, but we are going to invite business visitors. It's international distributors, any kind of businesses who can make some offers, any kind of offer to the wineries, wine producers. So they will have opportunity to go to have B2B meetings in that expo area, which will be located on the festival area, but a little bit far from the main activities. So there will not be any kind of food, music. It will be very professional area for having a good conversation and maybe some signing of contracts. So that's and our contact list that we now have. We have almost 5,000 contacts of the international wide range of the businesses who can be somehow or directly connected to the wine business, and maybe 18% of them are not Russian companies.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting as well, because I think for many people living in Yerevan like we think of Wine Days as this fun time to go with friends and have some drinks and walk around Yerevan. And we don't necessarily notice that business part or that B2B part. So I'm wondering if you could just kind of give us some more insights, what you've heard from business people coming here, because unfortunately Armenian wine is still something that's not as well known on the international market.
What we heard, I can of course say many interesting and good things, but we are depending on our thoughts, our ideas are depend on the facts, and that facts are coming through from the surveys with participants and separately with the visitors. So what we saw that the participants state that 57% of our participants state that more than 3+ international businesses made with them some contacts after the Yerevan Wine Days, and it was leads from the Yerevan Wine Days. It is huge number, and so after that percentage, it is very possible that they will sign some contracts, if I can say.
I wanted to also switch gears a little bit and talk about something a little more personal, if that's all right with you. So I know you've described yourself in the past as a serial entrepreneur and devoted spokesperson for women's right to work and create public good. Can you elaborate on that? I know that you have a lot of experience in Armenia as a businesswoman and as a woman entrepreneur. What has that been like for you?
For me, it's, I don't know, maybe it's because of my family or because it was just me. I didn't have any kind of obstacles to become a businesswoman. I just made some goals, and through the education, through the self-education, through the making some businesses, failing, and again creating some businesses, I found out that I can be only businesswoman. I mean nothing else, but a businesswoman. I love this role that I made for myself. And what can I say? It gives freedom. That's why whenever, I don't remember, maybe it was some 15 years ago, I found out that whenever you are by yourself, it doesn't depend you have a family supporting or not, a husband supporting or not. But if you are making money by yourself and you know how to make money that and completely independently, it gives you wings. And that's why I'm not losing any opportunity to speak about it, to even mentoring or maybe coaching. I'm not professional mentor or coach, but I'm professional businesswoman, so I can just talk with the other women. It doesn't even depend with the other woman, other person who wants to be successful. Just exchange my experience, talk about the failures mostly and how to success. And I love this, and I think especially women should think about herself as a strong and as a person who can earn money. Because financial part is very important part of the self-independence.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, Mary, best of luck with the festival this week. I'm sure we will all be there. And thank you again very much for your time.
Thank you so much for this interesting interview.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us on CivilNet.